Now we're given a graph and we have to figure out the equation. So we're told that this is the equation. You can use B or K. I actually like to write it as y equals a sine of either kx or y equals a cosine of kx, k being the value that will give us the period. So now think about this for a moment. We are not told that this has any shifting, either phase shift or vertical shifting. So we need to start with a function that at the origin, exactly touching the y-axis, represents either the sine wave or the cosine wave. So this one appears to be the cosine wave. Now, let's sketch the midline. So the midline is right here. And let's trap this inside of a box to find what the period of this is and what the, let me just finish this, what the amplitude is. So the amplitude is going from the midline either up or down. In this case, if you want to measure that, you're going to go from here all the way to 3.5. And 3.5 is the same as 7/2. That's 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2, 5/2, 6/2, 7/2. So my A is appears to be 7/2. So just be careful. Is the graph being reflected? Not really. So A is equal to plus 7/2. Now, how do we find the period and consequently the K value? Well, the period is very simple. It's from the initial point to the final point of one cycle, and that is 8 units long. And the period is found by doing 2 pi over K, and that needs to be equal to 8. So 2 pi divided by what value gets you an 8? Let's find out. So if you solve for K, you're going to get 2 pi over 8 equals K. And if you simplify this, you're going to get that pi over 4 is equal to K. So if you notice, in this particular case, we have the K containing, or in terms of pi. Why? Because we needed a value. If you do 2 pi over K, and K happens to be pi over 4, you're going to do 2 pi over 4. So you're going to have 8 pi divided by pi. So you cancel out the pi's and you get simply an 8. So with that in mind, we establish that this is the shape, the behavior of cosine. It could be also sine, but we would have to start here. And because we don't have any chance of writing an equation with any shifting, we have to settle for the one that starts exactly at the touching the y-axis. So you're going to go for y is equal, in this case, the A ends up positive because we don't have any reflection. So plus 7/2 times the cosine, and K happened or ended up being pi over 4. So I can use parentheses or not, that's up to you. Pi over 4 times x. So that would be your equation, making it without any shifting. You could come up with a different interpretation, but because we don't have any indication that we have the option to do shifting, we have to settle for this option. On the next example, we're going to have several options to work with.